What is up, Texas hockey fans, and welcome back to Clean Sheet of Ice. A Texas hockey podcast last night was a doozy. We're recording this Sunday, November 23rd, a little bit later in the evening. Last night, the Stars were in Calgary. A bad thing happened. They stole a point. It was a chaotic game in not a great way, and we're going to get into it on Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas hockey podcast. Thank you to our sponsors for sponsoring this episode. Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix. We love Zing Zang over here. Zang responsibly all season long. And shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code CSOI when you sign up. Play your first $5, get $100 in bonus entries using our promo code CSOI. I'm your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Man, I almost forgot that we got a point last night.
Yeah.
Fully not deserving of it. But yeah, the Dallas Stars for once had all of the NHL talking about their game.
Yeah, the last week has been tough. Just pointed out that way. Obviously, we had the Islanders game. Mikko Rantanen, the hit towards the end of the game, boarding. He got tripped up. It results in a boarding. I know everyone has their different opinion about it. I know CP for empty netters was kind of on our side. It's like, look, he got bumped, he got hooked, and then tripped. So he put his hands out to catch the fall. It just happened to be in the back of the guy's numbers. That's tough. Dan was like, yeah, I get it, but you can't put your hands out in front of the guy. Like, you can't just put it on his butt. That's kind of tough. It's a tough look. He doesn't get a suspension for that. He gets the boarding, 5-minute major. He's tossed from the game at the end of the game. And then he scores one of the best goals we've seen all season long. Then the next game, and you're like, oh my God, it's Mikko Rantanen. And then last night, it's, oh my God, it's Mikko Rantanen, in not a good way. And I love Mikko. I love talking to Mikko. I love everything that he's able to give to the Stars team on the ice, and then obviously off the ice in the locker room and everything. But last night, we'll just go ahead and start with that and get it out of the way. Mikko Rantanen has been suspended. NHL Player Safety put out a tweet today. Dallas's Mikko Rantanen has been automatically suspended for one game under Rule 23.6, physical infractions category in regular season league games. Any player who incurs a total of 2 game misconduct penalties in a physical infractions category before playing in 41 consecutive regular season league games without such a penalty shall be suspended automatically for the next league game of his team. So Mikko suspended against the Oilers for this hit on what's his name? I can't remember his name right now for the Flames, but that's on me. Hand up. It was Coronato. Coronato for the Flames is kind of in the defensive zone. You got Mikko he goes into the offensive zone. You got Liam Bichsel charging at him, and you can kind of tell that Coronato sees Liam Bichsel, and he's like, all right, I got a brace for impact, essentially. So he starts to kind of duck down, because ducking down on a 6'7" guy is probably the best move. You're not going to get creamed by him. And Mikko Rantanen had just come out of the box after a slashing penalty that he disagreed with. I disagreed with. I thought it was a soft call, a little bit of an embellishment, but nonetheless, it was called. He gets out of the box. He's coming out. You can kind of tell that he's seeing red. He's going to hit somebody, and he's going to hit somebody at any cost. And it's because he's frustrated, and he wants to get frustrations out. And Coronato's ducking because Liam Bichsel's right there. Mikko Rantanen comes behind him and punches him right into the boards. Like, brutal hit, breaks his nose. It looks like he's pouring blood. It was a bad hit. Face goes right into the boards, and there's no excuse for it at the end of the day. He was seeing red, and you could tell. And it was just a really bad hit. And it's tough because Mikko Rantanen leads the league in NHL penalty minutes so far in the entire league. So that's not good. He got 17 or 20 something last night, I guess, after getting tossed from the game. But what did you make of the hit? Obviously, we didn't like it. I think everyone on Stars Twitter and Stars World kind of agreed with that. It's like, that was a bad hit, and he can't do that. He was in a vulnerable position, and he can't put someone in that position to push him into the board. So what did you take of it?
Well, first of all, we got really lucky.
Yeah.
6 inches lower, and boy, that you're talking about a very, very dangerous situation. I mean, his nose hit that glass, but if it goes any lower and you're hitting that board, that's bad news. So we got really lucky there. But yeah, as a Stars fan, or just in general, like, you can't really defend when you can see Mikko coming a mile away, right into the picture frame. Like, he's coming in with bad intention, not intention to hurt somebody, but intention to just blow off steam. It's like in basketball when there's a hard foul, except for these guys are on skates, and the balance and everything somebody can get really hurt, and someone did hurt, but they escaped some damage. As Stars fans, you kind of just have to eat everything that's coming our way right now. It's 100% deserving. Whatever punishment that's going to come, even if it's overkill, like you can't have the guy who's leading the league in penalty minutes injure two people like that, and you can't have that continue. Does that have any indictment on Mikko? No. A 1 week does not define someone's 11-year career. He plays that way. I guarantee you, like, you've met him, I haven't, but I guarantee you he has no intentions of hurting somebody on the ice. But these are grown men playing a child's game, and sometimes childish things happen. And that was something I'm sure Mikko would take back immediately. He can't. So I'm sure this discipline that's going to happen will be just. And the thing, though, about this is, Coronato escaped real bad danger. And I don't think this happens from Mikko the rest of the season.
Yeah, and we've seen it from Mikko a lot this season. Like game 1 against Winnipeg, I believe, like he saw the cross checks away from the play because he's frustrated that he's getting bumped or whatever it is. He's throwing cross checks and he's getting into it. We saw it a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it was against the Islanders or the week before that. One of the home games, he's real pissed off that he's getting slashed by someone and it's not getting called. So he takes it after the whistle and slashes a guy in the legs. Then it gets called. And then he goes to the box. Like, he takes his frustrations out on the ice. He's a big moose and he likes to do that. And it's something that makes Stars fans love him. Like, you wanted to see that fiery passion from this team over the last 3 seasons, and we didn't have that. And now that Mikko's here, you're pretty much guaranteed to see that night in and night out. But at some point, you have to be smart for your team and not be in the box. When you're the best player, the highest paid player on the team, one of the leaders in the locker room, you got to stay out of the box. You got to be a little bit smarter and have that fiery passion either come with your puck on the stick or the stick on the puck. And then if it's not there, having a good defensive moment where you have the flattening of Matt Barzal the other night against the Islanders, where he's coming across the ice and you just cream him. Like, open ice, clean hit, like something big like that is just as effective as what was pretty much a dirty hit last night and the bad hit against Romanov. At some point, you've got to just kind of take your frustrations out in an effective manner and not in a destructive manner for the team. So, yeah, not a good sign from Mikko. I would assume that we don't see him at all next week against Seattle or Utah on Friday, which is a shame because Friday is going to be our retro night. And we're probably going to see the new jerseys, and we're not going to see Mikko, which pains me to say. But I would assume that's what's going to happen, and no one can really justify it. And I'm sure Mikko doesn't even justify it. He's like, look, I made a bad decision. I made a bad play, and hope nothing but the best for Coronato. Obviously, he comes back into the game. He's got a big strip on his nose. He's probably got stitches already in there. He's already starting to go black and blue in the post game and everything, but he scored a goal in the first period, I believe, or second period. I can't remember. And then, yeah, he was able to come back and he was okay, which was the best news of the night. Coronato came back and was okay. That was great. But yeah, Mikko, at some point, he has to dial it back and figure out how to be effective while also being angry at the same time. And at some point, it's going to happen. He's going to be fine. It's early in the season still. You're only 21 games into the season. So I'm not worried about it right now. But if that happens in the playoffs and you lose a series because Mikko decided to go rogue, that's when everyone's going to be like, all right, we've got to freaking dial it back. Like, this is a problem. So I don't know. It was a bad hit. But the rest of the game was bad. Let's just say outside of the first 10 minutes of this game, where the Stars, I feel like they had 10 shots, 10, 12 minutes into the first period.
Yeah.
They ended with 13 in the first period. They had chance after chance after chance. Mikko had a few. Robo had a few. I think the fourth line, the Quebec line of Ritzkovian, Beck, and Bork had some good shifts, like Radek Faksa, Jamie Benn were out there. Like, there was so many quality chances, high danger chances. I think they ended with 8 high danger chances, according to Owen Newkirk from DLS. He always tweets those out after every period, which is always nice. They had all the high danger chances in the first period, and they were down 1-0. So when that happened, I was like, all right, it might just be one of those nights where the Stars are so good in the first 10, 12 minutes and they don't score, and then they go down, and then that is what it is. And that's kind of what it looked like all the way until 12 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, vintage DeSmith performance last night. Like, he will give up one early, but after that, he settles in so well. And he was they weren't putting a ton of shots on him, but when they were pretty open lane shots, and he was handling them very well. Shouting out Sagan, I think he's looked very good this season. I think Sagan, the goal scoring has been in spurts, but the opening up chances has been there all season for him. And I was really worried coming into the season what he would look like. Jamie also has had some, last night particularly, had some really, really good looks, just things that can go their way. Calgary's goalie actually played pretty well last night too. Let's not forget
unreal.
about that.
Yeah.
Unreal. I mean, some of the saves he was making towards the end, he was on point, but a lot of penalties in the first couple periods on both penalty kills. Well, outside of Dallas's Coronato goal, both penalty kills were on their game, and just a weird like middling act in the second.
Yeah, you went on the power play early in the game. You had some good chances there, and you didn't score, and then you kill off the first PK, and Calgary's the 32nd best power play in the league. So I was like, okay, if we just go on the PK, whatever. Like, we had better chances on the first PK than the Flames had on their power play. Like, Sam Steele had that.
Yeah.
At some point, the lid is going to come off for Sam Steele, and he's going to score a goal, and then you're going to start seeing some more out of that. Like, he's had some quality chances over the last few weeks, and it just hasn't gone in. At some point, it's going to go in, just like we saw for Robo. We're not going to see the same tear from Sam Steele that we've seen out of Robo, but he's going to start scoring some goals here. And then that second one, I think it was Colin Blackwell that goes to the box for hooking. And then they scored pretty quick on that power play. And Casey was pretty pissed off because it caught him. It caught him in the middle, not in the chest, but in between the blockers. And he just didn't squeeze it. And he was pissed off at himself. You could tell that he yelled fuck right after when he stands up and throws the puck out. So tough first period to go down 1-0. And then second period, kind of the same thing, is just like a bunch of penalties, like a bunch of penalties from both teams here. So like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 penalties in the second period. Obviously, 2 of the guys had 4 penalties in between the two, with Mikko and Jonathan Huberdeau after that boarding call. So, you take what you can do in that second period, and you're coming out 1-0, and that game's still very much possible to win, even without Mikko Rantanen. You have a lot of good players, and heading into the third period was nut crunch time. You're sitting there, you're like, golly, now you go down 2-0 on a slap shot from the point, basically on a power play, where Casey just had no shot at seeing it. They have giant men on that team, and they were screening him really good. It still hit his blocker, and he had a chance, and he's pissed off, I'm sure, about that. 2 minutes into the third period, and then guess who's back? Guess who scored again? Jason Robertson. Heater of all heaters. I never wrong, just early. Could not have been more right about that. Like, after the 5th game, I was just like, you know what? I had a good run. Week and a half of this. Like, I called it. Whatever. He keeps going. He might just score every game now.
Like, somebody had the stat in like 6 games. It's like 10. I think it's 10 points.
In the last 6 games, he's had 10 goals.
10 goals. Jesus.
14 points.
Like,
yeah.
And they're all highlight reels. Like, they're not like empty netters. They're not, really, really like squeaky, touch. Like, they're all stupid goals that maybe 5 people on planet Earth can make.
Yeah, it's like the one that Sagan had on the breakaway, and it just slipped across the crease, and Robo just tapped it in, backhanded across the blue line and the red line. Like, that one was probably like the worst highlight goal that we've had, and it was just a good play. It was 2-on-1, and Robo made the right play. It was in the right position. Outside of that, it's just the 180 turnarounds where he's just flinging it at the net, and it just seems to go in every time. He almost had a few last night. And then the one last night on that one was unreal. It's like, you didn't even know that he shot it, and then they're like already panning to Robo. Like, you never saw it go into the net. The camera wasn't even panning at the same time. It's just like hits the back of the net so fast, and you just have no idea that it hit the net. It was unreal. So 10 goals in 6 games for Robo. Unreal heater. Sagan and Capobianco for the Stars are on the assist there. And then you still have plenty of time. Obviously, about 12 minutes left in the third period. And you're like, okay, if we can get one more and just steal a point here where Mikko Rantanen got tossed, he's going to be suspended. If you're able to steal a point here, that's a magnificent result. However, you have a 5-on-3 power play with a minute and a half of 5-on-3, minute 23 or whatever it was. And after Rupe Hintz gets his goal, which was another unreal play from Robo, just being able to protect the puck and get it to Rupe at the right time in the right position. And Rupe took that half a second longer to shoot it, gets top left. Beautiful goal, beautiful setup from Robo, though. Protecting the puck for that long, going side by side by himself is just like, you don't see that from Robo very often. He's not the fastest skater. So when he's able to protect the puck like that, that's a really good play from him. But then to be able to send it to the right spot for Rope was unreal. And it was a great Rope goal. So maybe we start to see Rope score here over the next few weeks, just a little bit more.
And I would love that, because like it was so weird seeing like Mikko goes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now Robo is the one setting up that perfect slot opportunity for Rupe. Like, these guys can interchange and play with everybody. And like, as fast as Robo shot is, Rupe's got it. Rupe's got a quick trigger as well. And if he gets going, like, I know we have a very, very tough stretch that we're probably going to have to deal without Mikko with, but we got some guys that can step up, man.
Yeah. I mean, I notice it in practice. Like, there's a lot of really good shots on this team. Robo is one of them, but in practice, Robo's not showing off the speed of the shot and all that kind of stuff. You see that more in game. Rope in practice, his shots just in warm-ups, like when they're skating up and down the ice and just taking the puck and flinging it at the net. When he misses the net and it hits the glass, outside of Liam Bichel, it is the hardest shot that you'll see in practice every single time. Like, he's got an effect, magnificent shot, incredible shot, and then Robo setting that up. You get to 2-2, and then you have a minute and a half of 5-on-3. Wyatt Johnston, Robo, Rope, Tyler Sagan, even. Like, there were several chances on that 5-on-3. And then, I mean, that the goalie for Calgary, Devin Cooley, was just absolutely unreal last night. That there were so many chances, especially in the first 13 minutes of the game, and especially the last 5 minutes of the game, that game should have been over before regulation was done. Like, they should have had empty netters, and then you go 6-on-5 and anything can happen. But that game should have been over, and it wasn't. They go to OT, and the Stars started on the power play for like 17 seconds, I think, in OT, and they went the entire 5 minutes without a stoppage in timing. So they played 4-on-4 the entire 5 minutes of overtime, and I don't know if that's ever been done since we went 3-on-3 in overtime. It was so strange.
Yeah, it was weird. Stars in overtime had the better looks. They had, the better pressure, but just with so much going on in that first and second period, like, boy, to even get to overtime kind of was a miracle.
Yeah, they didn't deserve to be there. They didn't deserve a point. And when you look at it from that perspective, you're like, okay, we got a point. Colorado's like the best team by far and away in the NHL, and you're only 4 or 5 points behind them. Like, you take that, especially in November, because if it's 4 or 5 points and you're in April, it's like you're going to need them to lose a lot of games, and you're going to have to win a lot of games in a row. So that would be tough, but it's still November. You can deal with it. And stealing a point there in Calgary when you definitely did not deserve it, especially after the Mikko hit, you can kind of survive that, take the point, and run. You go to a shootout. Robo's shootout goal percentage has to be 100% this year. I feel like he's never missed. It's unreal. And then not having Mikko in the shootout sucks, because he's almost automatic as well. And when Wyatt and Tyler Sagan don't score on the shootout, which they normally do, they're over 50%, I believe, in their careers. So that was tough. Cooley played a hell of a game for Calgary. He was just unreal in net. He was making all kinds of crazy stops. He's a big guy, and he played big and played fast and was able to stop a lot of shots. So credit to him, and credit to Calgary for getting the win there in the shootout. I know it's like a so-so result, but I didn't go to bed angry about that. I went to bed angry because Mikko's probably suspended for the week. So that's what I was upset about, more so than losing an extra point there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robo's shootout technique it's magical. And I would love to know from like Otter or Casey, like, when you're in practice, how the hell do you defend that? It's so fast. Like, what do you do?
And Casey's unreal in shootouts in practice. Like, I don't know if you see the clips from the social teams that they put out every once in a while during practice or morning skate or whatever. They kind of do a shootout or a one-on-one thing with the goaltender that's not starting usually at the end of practice. And Casey can go like 5 for 5, 6 for 6 against some of the best players in the world, like Mikko, Robo, Wyatt. Like all these guys are going at him, and he just stops everyone. It's unreal. And obviously he didn't last night, but I know he's going to be pissed off about it, and it is what it is. You got to deal with it. But at the end of the day, you stole a point in Calgary. You didn't deserve it. It's a 4-game road trip. You've got 3 out of 4 points so far, and you'll take that all day long.
Yeah, like it's so weird having the point total that we have. And if you didn't watch any of the games, you're like, man, Dallas is looking great this year. But then if you do watch the games, you're like, man, Dallas never really plays a full 3 periods. But when they do have 1 period, it's enough to either steal them a game or steal them a point.
Yeah. And you'll take that all day long. When you haven't played your best hockey yet and you're 3rd or 2nd in the NHL in points, it's hard. It's as a fan, as a team, it's like, look, they may not be playing really well or pretty or whatever you want it to look like, but they're racking up points at the end of the day. And goalie like understands like, look, this team's not humming yet, and we're not on cruise control with points, but we're fucking earning points in any way, shape, or form right now. And that's a huge deal, especially early in the season, especially in the Olympic year when you have that big break in February. Like you need to rack up points, you need to rack them up fast, especially when Colorado and Winnipeg are in your division. We're going to talk about Winnipeg here in a second, but I'm going to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to win money this NHL season. Obviously, got football going on. This week is Thanksgiving, and it's that time again. Feast week is back on Underdog from November 26th through November 30th. Check the app daily for special promotions, so you can earn even more times your money, like 50%, sometimes 30%, sometimes 20% more on your picks, on your entries on Underdog Fantasy. It's NFL season, so get your picks in. This Thursday, you got all those Thanksgiving games. Then Friday, you got a bunch of college football games. You got hockey back. You can put together all kinds of stuff. The easiest pick of all time right now is Robo shots on goal. He had 6 last night. His total is usually around 2.5 to 3.5. If you're hitting the higher than on Robo for shots on goal, you're probably going to get it. Honestly, you could probably hit the higher than on 0.5 point goals in a game for Robo on Underdog Fantasy right now. You pair that with another pick like Wyatt Johnston and another pick from a different team in a different stat or whatever, you can win up to 5,000 times your money with Underdog Fantasy. Put those picks together, win up to 5,000 times your cash with Underdog Fantasy. Download the app today, sign up with promo code CSOI and score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code CSOI. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPEline at 1-877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. That's promo code CSOI with Underdog Fantasy. Play your first $5, get $100 in bonus entries. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Some news before we get to the Oilers game on Tuesday. Connor Hellebuyck just got hurt. He's out for multiples of weeks, 4 to 6, maybe 6 to 8. I can't remember what it is. I think it's a knee injury. It's not great, especially for Winnipeg and the point system in the Central Division playing against Colorado and Dallas. Like you need points and you need them fast. The biggest thing there is that if Jake Oettinger can start excelling this season, he might be able to just steal that starting job for Team USA in February in Milan. I think that's a huge opportunity for Jake over the next several weeks to maybe just make it a real conversation where they have to get into camp and look at the guys and be like, all right, look, Jake's been playing really well and Connor, you've been hurt. We got to ride the hot hand.
Yeah. And like injuries, not towards Team US, but like really every country minus Sweden, like we're all kind of having these issues right now. We don't even have the rink yet in Milan. Like something in the air is not right. But like if Jake can come off of an Olympic period and shine, like the confidence he's going to have would be unreal. Now with Connor, luckily, if you're Team US, you still have 2 fantastic options. Like it's not Jake's going to have to earn this net now. Like Swayman is that dude still. Like I know he's had some ups and downs, but Jake does have some slack he has to pick up. He perfectly can. We know how good he is. And if he gets that world stage, we know he gets even better, which would bode well for a U.S. team that, if you look at the forwards and the defensemen, like there's a lot of question marks there too. And we've talked about this off the air. Like, yeah, on paper, that Team US is great, but the health that they're at right now, there's a lot of chaos going on.
Yeah, so it's a big opportunity for Jake over the next several weeks, maybe the next couple months, to try to earn that spot for Team USA. That'd be a huge deal for him. It'd be a huge deal for the Stars to have more guys on the team. Like, obviously, Thomas Harley comes back healthy. He'll probably be on Team Canada. I don't know if he'll be in the top 6, but he'll be there. Obviously, Matthew Schaefer just got added to the 90-player roster that they can start drug testing to potentially bring in for Team Canada. I think Wyatt Johnston is a great candidate right now for Team Canada. And if he's not on that team, and Connor Bedard, or I'm not going to say Celebrini, because Celebrini probably deserves to just be on that team for whatever. Like, he's just unreal right now. But Wyatt Johnston does so much that Connor Bedard doesn't necessarily. And now Robo is on a tear of all tears. And if he's not on Team USA, with all the injuries that they have with Austin Matthews, and like JT Miller's just like not great anymore for New York. Like, why would we bring those guys if I could just bring in Jason Robertson, who scored 10 goals in 6 games and on a heater of all heaters was like leading the points for the Dallas Stars, and he got off to not a great start. I only had 3 goals up until 6 games ago. It's like there's a lot of stars that could be on these rosters outside of Team Finland, where we know Rope, Essa, Miro, like Mikko, they're all going to be on Team Finland. We don't have to worry about Team Finland. It's mainly Team USA and Canada, where we're looking at them and it's like you'd be wrong if you didn't add these guys to the roster.
As each day goes by, I'm starting to think Wyatt Johnston's not going to get that call. And
it's a hype thing.
It's purely political. It has nothing to do with his play. And that's not to say other guys don't deserve it.
Yeah.
But like, it actually is going to help Team US, because boy, like having to deal with a big guy like Wyatt Johnston coming down and crowding that net is going to suck for Jake Oettinger. Like,
yeah.
It's going to be weird, but boy, like I've banged this, like, I hate saying this. Dallas has, and they're going to get the world stage next year with the Winter Classic, but Wyatt Johnston gets the lowest amount of appreciation for how young and talented of a player he is. You go through that draft, it's rough finding a guy that you would take over Wyatt Johnston the entire draft, man.
And there's a lot of great players in that draft. And the other thing I look at is just like, it's no disrespect to the other players, but like Brendan Hagel, like he hasn't performed this season. And last season we saw a bunch of guys just like Robo and just like Wyatt that deserved to be on those teams that didn't make it because they had slow starts to the season. And it was just because they had a slow start to the season. It was nothing about their play. It was nothing about how they could perform on the big stage. It was mainly just like, hey, you didn't start off hot. And if Hagel's not starting off hot and he continues to just not be good until January, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, Wyatt Johnston leads the league in power play goals. He's a dog on the PK. He's a dog on the power play. He's a 4th line grinder in a top line IQ and body and skill wise. Like, he has everything that you could do on the hockey rink, and he'd be a great addition to Team Canada. And it would suck having to root against him and Harley, even though Harley's from freaking Syracuse, but whatever. Like, we'll let that one go. But yeah, I think Wyatt definitely deserves it. If Robo's not on the team, if Wyatt doesn't make the team and Robo doesn't make the team, I will raise absolute hell on Twitter, online, on this podcast, on our live streams, whatever it is, because that's going to be utterly ridiculous if one of those guys doesn't make it, and especially if Robo doesn't make it at this point, because Robo might just be leading the league in goals here in like 2 weeks if he just keeps going.
You know, dude, like Robo has to be on that team. And then when you like, see, it's great fan discourse, because like you look at a guy like Brad Marchand, and no doubt, like off the ice, he's a big factor on that team. But on the ice,
he's a dog, dude.
Like, there's like in baseball, they have the 5 tools. Like, Wyatt Johnston beats out Brad Marchand in 4 of the 5 tools.
Yeah, like, it's just Brad's been doing it for years and years and years. And they're very similar players. I think Brad's just a little bit smaller, but the way that they can just dump and chase a puck and go get it and create something out of nothing, the way that they are on the power play, the way they are just like scoring goals in big moments, like they both kind of do the same thing. I would never take Brad Marchand off of Team Canada. Like, as long as he is capable and willing to be on Team Canada, I'm putting Brad Marchand on there, because I'm a big Brad Marchand guy. Like, I wanted him last year. I've wanted him forever. I hated him in Boston because it was a Boston thing, but just watching him, he's unreal. And having two of those guys that kind of do the same thing, and one's just a 22-year-old version of the same guy, maybe a little bit bigger, that'd be unreal for Team Canada. But if they don't do it and Robo's on the other side, I'll be okay because I got Team Finland. I got Team USA to root for. I'm not going to root for Canada, but I'll root for Harley and Wyatt if they make the team. But that's kind of your Olympic update a few months before we get into it. Another show note. Hey, we did happy hour on a Saturday last night before the Calgary game. It was a lot of fun. It was just me. We're going to be doing it every once in a while. We'll be doing it on Tuesday before the Edmonton game. I think me and Savannah are going to hop on, help talk with chat, do a little pregame happy hour, an hour before puck drop. So 7 o'clock on Tuesday night, we'll be hopping on YouTube at Clean Sheet Advice. Hit that subscribe button because we're at 75 subscribers right now. It's not a lot. It's not a ton. I understand that. We just started this channel. We just moved it over. But at 100, one of these bad boys, it's going to one of you. I'm going to put all 100 subscribers into the team wheel, and I'm going to spin it, and someone's going to win one of these Dutchy Music Hall and Bar hats from Victoria E. Green on Twitter. She makes great stuff. She's got all the buttons. She's got bracelets. She's got these hats. They're incredible. She set one aside for me. We're going to give away one of these Dutchy hats. Once we hit 100 subscribers, we're going to do a lot of giveaways throughout the rest of the season. And if we hit like 500 subscribers, I'll give away one of the new, not the new jerseys, but I'll give away some version of the new merch, whether it's a beanie or a shirt or a hoodie or something like that. We'll do that once we hit 500 subscribers on here. But we're going to do a happy hour on Tuesday night before the Edmonton game, 7 o'clock. So be there or be square, hang out and chat with us for about 30 minutes, maybe an hour, heading into game time against Edmonton. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Before we get out of here, though, playing Edmonton on Tuesday. In Edmonton, Jake's probably going to go. It's kind of a get-back game for Jake. The last time we saw him against Edmonton was Game 5 in May. So, or maybe it was the first day of June. I can't remember at this point. So what do you think about this Edmonton game without Mikko Rantanen? Because he's definitely suspended for this one. He may be suspended for the others.
So two things. That third and fourth line, I know the stat sheet's not saying it wise, but I have been I was worried about Jamie. I think Jamie's going to be fine. He's playing the exact amount of minutes that I want him to play, which I love from goalie. Mm-hmm. But Ritzkovian, dude. Ritzkovian is such a great pest. He's very good defensively. And if he's like my Reed Shepherd this year, where it's like, I've seen the talent. It's just, I want him to believe he belongs on the ice with these stars. And Reed Shepherd of the past week been on playing against unreal guys. And I saw him take Yoke to be Reed Shepherd. Like, the Rockets might have a shot at being a top 3 or 4 team in the West. I don't know yet. Me and Stone believe that's not the case right now, but it could be.
We're getting there.
Ritzkovian, like, I heard so much about him in the first week of the season, and I loved his play. And he is that kind of Sam Steele this year, to where it's all confidence with him. If he can grow that confidence, his skill is going to back it up. And here's a game without Mikko. I would love to see Edmonton's going to try and crowd Otter in front of net. And if we can negate that, I think we're going to be successful. I think Rupe is going to fly past people. Miro is going to have to lock up like he did last time Edmonton came to town. And it's going to be a fun one. This is going to probably be a high scoring game. I'm not going to lie to you. It's probably going to be like a 6-4 or a 4-5, but we got to jump on it early.
Yeah. If you can get out to a good start against Edmonton and make them claw back, and you can kind of not park the bus necessarily, but you put the pressure on them, it's a much better situation than you having to fight back against Edmonton, just like they did against the Stars a few weeks ago back in AAC. So getting out to an early start and getting that early goal is paramount in this game, especially in Edmonton, especially with all the history that we have with them now over the last 2 seasons in Western Conference Finals. But what you mentioned about Ritzy, he is exactly what we saw out of Sam Steele last year, because I was banging the Sam Steele drum all last season. I was like, dude, this guy's good. And no one pays attention to him because he's on the fourth line, but he does all the little things right. And that's what Ritzy does. He fights for the puck. He dumps and chases. He hits people. He plays good defense, and he's fun on offense. Like, he's stealing pucks. Him and Blackwell and whoever's out on the line with him, they're just fourth line grinders, but they're in a third line position right now with all the injuries and stuff. But I think you could just put Ritzy on a line with Sagan and Duchesne, or you could put Ritzy up with Rope and Robo. Like, you can kind of throw him anywhere on any line, maybe outside of the top line right now until he starts getting his confidence up, because that's what we saw with Sam Steele. He got his confidence way up last season. He gets a new contract and extends with the Stars, and now he's up on the top line a lot of the time. But then you put him back on the fourth line, he does the same thing. He's doing the exact same thing both lines. It just doesn't look as good on the top line because it's with Mikko Rantanen and Wyatt Johnston. Like, you see those two guys and you're paying attention to them more than you're paying attention to Sam. So at the end of the day, I think Ritzy's going to be just peachy in Dallas. I think he's going to be a fan favorite for a long time to come. That's Sam Nessler's darling from DLS. He loves some Ritzy. He loved Ritzy last year. He loves Ritzy. So would love to see him get in the scoring column a little bit more here. And then I would love to see Jamie just get the 400th at the end of the day. Like, I don't care when it happens. I would just rather get it out of the way so we can just not focus on that anymore, because it feels like he scored the 400th goal like 5 times at this point, and he hasn't. And he's had a lot of really good chances since he came back over the last 3 games. But if we can get Jamie his 400th goal and call it a day, and then we don't have to worry about that, that would be huge. But yeah, I think what you said about the game being high scoring, I think that's what we're heading towards. And it might only be high scoring on one side. I don't know what the Stars are going to come out without Mikko Rantanen on their team. I don't know what they're going to look like. Obviously, we saw them fight back and they scored 2 goals without him last night, but Tuesday night might be a different story. It's against Edmonton. It's your boogeyman. If you can keep beating them in the regular season and you get the playoffs and you have to play them again, which at this point you might not see them in the playoffs. Like, they're not in the playoff picture right now. They're really close, but they're either right in the wild card or right out of it. But they might be making some changes. Pete DeBoer might be on that bench come the playoff time. It's a very real possibility. The hot seat it's real hot for not block up there in Edmonton. So what do you got for final score prediction? If you want to sponsor final score prediction, hit us up in our DMs on Clean Sheet Advice, or my DMs, Apollo Stoney, on any social media platform. We'd love to have this sponsored. Final score prediction, Dom.
I am going in overtime. Dallas Stars 5, Edmonton Oilers 4.
Okay. I'll take that. I'm going to go in a different direction because we almost always pick the Stars. You always pick the Stars for sure. Yeah. But I'm going to go in a different direction. I think it's going to be 5-3 Oilers. I think it's just going to be kind of a drumming, and then you get a late goal and make it 5-3, so it looks a little bit more respectful. I just don't know. I don't know how long they can keep fighting back, especially against good teams and earning points and all that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes overtime, they steal a win and they steal 2 points from Edmonton. Like, would not be surprised in the slightest. But I'm going to try to put the Stoney curse on the Oilers and go 5-3.
Yeah, they need this. If, like, they could really use this win.
Did they win last night? I was paying attention to it and then I wasn't. So we'll take a gander. You know, what happened here? Because that was a high scoring game last night, I believe, for Edmonton, or the night before, maybe it was. Who's to say? Because the NHL website is the worst of all time, and I can't freaking find anything here. This is ridiculous. How am I supposed to see anything on? Like, there's 12 games last night. Show me the 12 games. Like, yeah. So they won 6-3 against the Panthers. I know that one got chippy. It was a NHL Stanley Cup Finals rematch, and it was a pretty close one early in the game, and I think the Oilers kind of blew it up later in the third, but I was paying attention to the Mavs and the Stars. So yeah, they won last night. So they've got 10 wins now. And yeah, they're a hard team to beat. We've seen that time and time again. Obviously we got them in the shootout the last time, but I would expect a better game again from the Oilers this time. But now we get to see Jake in net. And I think that's going to be huge for his confidence heading forward. And if he can get one against the Oilers and steal a game there, I think that just does wonders for him, especially with Hellebuck out now. So, like, it's time to go for Jake, and we'll see what happens. And then no Mikko Rantanen suspension. He'll be out for the Oilers game, if not a little bit more. I don't know when that hearing is going to be for that, and we'll have to just wait and see.
Mikko, get some rest, enjoy some Thanksgiving, and come back for that little spurt before Olympic period, and we'll get rolling again.
Yeah, it'll be just fine. But we're going to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on Clean Sheet Advice on YouTube or any podcast platform that you listen to us on. We got live video on Spotify as well. We're going to do the happy hour on Tuesday, 7 o'clock, Edmonton happy hour for the Stars game. Join us on YouTube. We'll be live. Hit up the chat. Have some fun. Grab a drink, grab a tea, grab a coffee, whatever you need. I know Thanksgiving people are going to be in town, but if you need to escape the in-laws or whoever, hit us up at 7 o'clock on Tuesday for a happy hour on Clean Sheet Advice's YouTube hit that subscribe button because at 100, we're giving away one of the Dutchie hats. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your sisters, tell your brothers, tell everyone, tell your grandparents. Hit that subscribe button. Anyone can listen to us. We're Dallas Stars. We love the Dallas Stars. So if you're a Stars fan, hit that subscribe button. Thank you to our sponsors, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix. We love Zing Zang over here. Zang responsibly all season long. And shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code CSOY when you sign up. Play your first $5, get $100 in bonus entries. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.